Like a lot of the people in this room, I know you're very enthusiastic about the carbon rule that the president is going to introduce tomorrow.
No, I'm not. Just for the record. In case irony was not listened to there. No, I think it's a disaster. It's typical of the Obama administration taking executive power he doesn't have. Up till now, for the last, almost 45 years, the Clean Air Act has been about inside the fence pollution. Now, for the first time, they've extended this to require states in a very coercive way, in a very confusing, convoluted way, to deal with this issue. And I believe it's unconstitutional, and I think in a relatively short period of time, the courts will determine that as well. But in the interim, this has now been fast-forwarded. This rule will be official tomorrow. And I think it's going to be a disaster for high sustained economic growth where people have a chance at earned success. This is going to be a job killer. It's particularly hard for lower income Americans that are already suffering mightily with higher costs and lower income, lower wages. Now we're going to place on them higher utility costs. It doesn't solve the carbon issue that President Obama is so preoccupied with, but it hollows out our industrial core. We should be doing something different. Look, when I was governor, I think for those from Florida, they would say that, whether they liked it or not, that I had a pretty darn good environmental record, that I protected wild Florida, that we cleaned the water. We've started to focus on Everglades restoration. You know how I did it? High sustained economic growth. We would never had the resources to do the things that are important over the long haul to do unless you're growing the economy. This administration wants to create the new normal being 2%. That's what we have to live with. Get over it. Don't even think you can grow faster. 2% will damn us as a nation. It will destroy the chance of the next generation of achievers like you all in this room. The next generation won't do it. And so I think we have to get away from this mindset that you're trying to hollow out the industrial core, and that's a great idea, with a minimum impact, huge downside costs. This is going to be a disaster, and we should fight it.
Governor, you've talked about how